Yo, what is up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to another episode of Night Trap Podcast.
Sir.
Today, we have two special guests again.
I'm not a guest no more, man.
He lives here.
I'm always here, man.
He fucking lives here. He was just telling me of how far this house is.
Oh, yeah. I live far, man. Far east side.
It's fucking far. Okay, guys, you got. Maybe it's for them not to find me.
It's worth it, though, man.
They're not gonna find me. Anyway. Anyways, we have Andrew.
What's up, guys? Barajona, man.
So there you go, Andrew Barajona. Juan has told me all about you. He did tell me to watch your movie. I haven't had fucking time.
I checked it out.
I'm doing a lot of shit, but I am going to do it. I am going to do it.
Cool.
The cool thing though is that we have Juan here.
Oh, yeah,
man. And what I like about, like what everybody likes about the Night Trap Podcast is that we don't just talk about your work.
Right.
We try to talk about just shit that you like.
Yeah,
cool.
You as a person, man.
So you as a person, whatever you like if you like what's it called, like what movies, music, all that kind of shit.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
Because I feel like everybody asks the same old fucking questions. And
Yeah, it gets boring, man.
It's like you can just keep watching. I'd be more interested in like what do people like other than which is weird because I've had people that are like into horror punk that tell me that their favorite music genre is like country. And I'm like, what?
That's the range right there.
Shout out Davey from Calabrese. He was
He
like, I'm so sick of horror punk, dude. I just want to listen to some country.
Change it.
Anyways, back to you. So, are you from here, from El Paso, born and raised?
Yep, El Paso, born and raised.
Awesome. So then you are our kind of person, because I was born in Juarez. You were born here. Right?
Makes perfect sense too, man. You're chill, like you're humble, down to earth, and you've always been a real hard worker. So
Thanks, dude.
yeah,
Appreciate
El Paso, it emanates from you. So badass.
And are you just into film? What other medias do you do?
I mean, I do like social media marketing as like my little side hustle, but filmmaking is like my primary, and I do sometimes photography as well.
We're gonna be into competing, fucking.
No, he's been starting to do some.
I'm starting to do it.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
For a band, right? You just did one.
I just did a promo for the band, but
Good shit, dude.
So my wife was kind of telling me like we should LLC this shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's like different genres of photography too. There's like portrait, event, landscape. Like, there's so much you can do.
Well, what I was telling Juan is that I wanted to do like the commercial kind of side, like all the, because I want to be a filmmaker too.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
So that's why I'm like,
And that's why
we're the same. What the hell?
Talked about it, and I'm like, you gotta meet Andrew, man.
I'm just 10 years older.
10 years older.
That's irrelevant. Though.
I'm already
It's just
really late to the game. No,
man.
but
well, the dude from Breaking Bad, like, he didn't get his break until late into his career, and he would like write scripts. And
Vince Gilligan?
Vince Gilligan, he would write scripts about shit that he didn't want to write, and so finally he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do what I want," and he created Breaking Bad, and it blew up.
It is, man.
That's what I told him. I was like, maybe what I wanted to do is just work all year to do Halloween commercials.
That's badass.
And then just during Halloween, everybody gets their
the
their product, and then they
Dude,
just.
that's really fucking cool, man.
That's all I want to do. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I kind of want to do those things to fund my love for filmmaking.
Yeah, the passion stuff.
Because I just did a short movie, and I probably spent like $200 or whatever. Which probably was the budget of the film now. It's what I say. But it was still like I lost money, instead of like.
But it was for the passion.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
But you're on the other end right now. You're doing pretty good.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's crazy. Fucking, like, to profit off a film is so hard, dude. You know what I mean?
There's so many like venues.
But the cool thing is, like, with horror specifically, it's easy to sell a horror film. Like, you don't need a named actor. Like, no one gives a shit. Like,
No, and there's so many platforms where they'll like buy even the shittiest of them because they just want to like build on their catalog. So like I know like Shudder is the obvious one,
Yeah,
but there's like Screenbox,
Crypt TV.
Yeah, there's like a shitload.
Yep.
And even Tubi you know,
Dude,
buys,
Tubi,
like,
dude.
it has a
Tubi's
shitload of horror.
Dude, I fucking love Tubi, dude. I'm like on Tubi all the
It
time.
kills,
The only thing that sucks is that you're like watching and then a fucking commercial.
I know the fucking commercial, dude.
I wish they just had like a
That's how it goes.
premium, so like you can just pick the
I don't know,
commercial.
man. I'm willing to deal with the commercials just because
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
YouTube is worse.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, YouTube's
Yeah.
way worse, man. Like $16 a month too.
It's
18. It's $18.99 now.
It went up.
They went
Fuck
up.
that, dude.
Just
Nah, man.
And a 20-minute video gets like I think like maybe like 12 commercials. That's fucking
That is
insane.
wild.
And if you leave, if you don't skip, like if you fall asleep, sometimes they put
Oh,
like 2 hours.
yes, dude. They
Oh,
keep
yeah.
going to commercials if you don't
Takes
skip the time,
advantage,
dude.
yeah, it does.
Sometimes I'm like, I put like a long YouTube video on, and when I'm showering and I see the thing, I fucking get out of the shower
Yeah,
and
you
just so I can
can't.
skip
Me
it.
too, man. Exactly.
That's why I was like afraid of this because this is a background
Yeah.
from YouTube, and I'm like I don't want a fucking commercial to pop up because it's a 3-hour video.
I've always wondered when you do the sleep ones with like the thunderstorm, does a commercial come on sometimes?
No, it's because it's up to the user. I think
Oh,
it's up to the
wow.
person that uploaded it.
That's interesting.
So
To allow it.
basically, if you see a video that has a shitload of commercials, that means the
The
person that
YouTuber?
is a fucking asshole. No, well, I mean, they
He's
probably
making
need
his
more
money.
money.
Right.
So they probably just put like, yeah, I just put however many commercials you want or whatever.
Oh man, I don't know how I feel about that.
Gotta make-
now.
I don't
Yeah.
have that option because I don't have that many views. So I don't even have that. My shit doesn't even have commercials.
You haven't gone for that yet. Yeah.
And none of my, because we say bad words, none of my shit is like for kids.
Demonetized.
So I'm pretty sure nobody even wants to fucking sponsor me.
Sponsor you.
Maybe like Axe body spray or some shit.
That's
something
awesome.
edgy.
Yeah, that's literally awesome. Right.
But yeah, that's fucking bad. So like, it's not like when I wanted to make the movie, I wanted to like make money. I just wanted to get seen by as many people that I can.
Right.
Have you done like local festivals or anything like that?
I submitted.
You
that
submitted.
Nobody fucking.
Yeah.
Nobody bit that shit.
We were just talking about Oculto Film Fest, but I think they had a lot of submissions this year.
Yeah, they had a
So-
shit, and it's worldwide. So I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, I'm going. It's not just against local; it's against like everybody. So
It's happening.
so like people probably like from LA and like from other
Oh,
places,
everywhere, man.
from Spain and shit. Like, fuck, dude.
I'm happy.
So I wasn't expecting much,
But-
and I mean I've gotten my shit here locally.
Shit.
So like we're having a screening now.
Yeah,
Second.
Cinema Studio.
The Cinema Studio.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
hell
So
yeah.
we're having, and I'm
Yeah.
putting all the commercials and shit that I've done before because it's just a 16-minute movie.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
So I'm just gonna open it with like my commercials and shit that I've
Show,
done
man.
because everything's like stupid.
Definitely.
Nothing is like like mattresses and shit. Like everything's just, a toy. I'm selling Thrasher on one.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But in your movie, I was watching the beginning of the trailer right now. That should look
Even the
it looked
trailer.
gorgeous though.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
It
Appreciate
looked
it.
fucking gorgeous. Cause I'm not an HD guy. Actually, the first HD commercial I did was this last one. Because I want to do everything VHS.
Nice.
He likes a little line.
That's cool, like the analog stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
because
cool.
I like because of the creepiness of it.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna do an action commercial or a romantic on VHS. This is gonna look like a softcore porn.
Yeah, it lends itself to the
art.
Yeah, the art. Yeah.
So maybe horror or softcore porn.
Combined them, dude, with analog horror with porn, dude. That's like its own niche right there.
I mean, isn't that what like a grindhouse movie is kind of? It's
Pretty
just
much.
like boobies
Yeah.
and blood and shit.
It's all there, man.
But I wanna because like it's Halloween time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really, but
season.
It's El Paso,
Now
Dude,
it's-
I know. Dude, September is spooky season, dude.
Yes,
It doesn't
sir.
matter where
I
you're
started
at.
from like
agree.
August, dude. I'm like, it's August, fuck it, let's start watching movies. But I wanted to fucking talk about this ghost thing, because like your movie is, pues it's about a haunting, like whatever. I was talking, I don't know if you know the legend of Polybius.
Polybius,
They have
the
the
haunted
little-
arcade.
The haunted arcade. So they used to say back in the fucking 80s that arcade specifically, like that, it doesn't exist, but like there was an urban legend that Polybius was a haunted arcade that when kids played it for a while, they would like die afterwards.
Yeah,
And that the CIA was like going in and grabbing like the data from it, like
mind
every
control
other
and
mind
stuff.
control.
Yeah.
That's actually wild.
And they would take it, so like it doesn't exist, and it becomes this urban legend. So that's why like now there's like a model of it. And but I was telling him like when you put the sound up, you could hear the arcade calling the CIA. Or whatever.
That's actually really cool. I did not know that.
But
I'm gonna look that up when I check it
Wow.
home.
oh, there's a lot of fucking videos
Oh,
on it.
yeah, it's-
Angry Video Game Nerd's probably the best one,
Yeah, he covered it.
but it's like a sketch kind of.
Okay.
But there's a lot of stories in that. So,
That's
yeah,
cool.
but since that, like there's that kind of.
Urban myth.
Where did you base your movie on? Like,
So it was a true story.
True story. It's a true story.
So we had a client that owns a distillery, and we were doing some work for them. And my brother was talking to one of the owners who lived in the house, and he had come over to the house.
What is this house before?
The house in the actual film.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the real house that happened.
Okay.
And so we were all talking, and she randomly mentioned, two things. She randomly mentioned, it was Kennedy, and she had mentioned that she lived there most of her life, and they were moving, and she was talking about these scary stories that had happened to her as a kid. And then she mentioned, like randomly, if we wanted to film there, we can. And it's a historical house, and you'll learn this later on, but when you film at a historical house, you have to go through the city, you have to get a permit, it's a whole thing, and you have to pay to film in these historical houses. And since there was no middleman, we didn't have to pay for the permit or anything. It's just like it's her house, so we just basically
just took the opportunity.
And it was funny because this was around I want to say September, 2 years ago, because it was 2021. So 2 years ago in September, she offered us the opportunity, and she just dropped a bomb of like, hey, we're moving, but by the way, we're moving in November. So you would have to
gotta do it like now.
Yeah, like now. And so it was my brother Jorge Barajona, which is the DP, the cinematography. He made it look the way it did. And then there was Frank Acosta, the writer, which is like our writer. He wrote it, and then I directed it. So it was a lot. It was cool because all three of us came together, and we would meet every day in the spot, and just we thought about what we were gonna make the story about, and it was one of those moments where it was kind of obvious, and we thought, we're in the literal house these hauntings happen. Why don't we just make the movie about their experience? And what was creepy was, so the storyline was definitely based off of Kennedy and her experience. So when she was 5 years old, she saw this Asian girl as a ghost. Or not even, she just saw an Asian girl. And so she would always play with this girl. And she would say things like, oh, she's not letting me get on my bike, or she's not letting me go through, or they would just play together. And the mom didn't really, it was like a kid's imagination, didn't really put too much thought into it until there's this one time where, and we have this scene in the movie, she told her to go to bed, go to bed, and as she was walking, she hears a bunch of rattling, and she's like, I told you to go to bed. And so when she opens the door, she sees a girl go underneath the bed. Yeah.
Beautiful shot. I gotta
Thanks,
say,
dude.
man. Great job, man.
Thank you. She starts yelling at her like, hey, I told you to go to bed. And in the movie it's different, it's played off differently, but in real life she was behind her, being like, I'm getting ready for bed.
Oh.
And she was like, what the fuck? I saw someone go into bed. So that was the I guess the foundation of the story, and then from there we deviated a bit, but mostly we found out that house is historically known to also have there's the I forget specifically what act it was, but it was the Chinese Act where they had the immigrants build the railroads.
Yeah.
And so they actually had the Chinese immigrants live in the attic, and they figured that out through the girl apparently.
The ghost girl.
Yeah, the ghost girl. And so that's also where we based off of that. And they also said that there's this woman in the house, this woman in a hat around the house that would walk around. She didn't really haunt them. We kind of exaggerated just a little bit on that because we needed to make it scary.
Yeah,
but,
it needs to be interesting and
yeah. But yeah, that was the basis of it. And it was pretty crazy because I guess the you know, it was very natural to write it, and you know what was crazy about it was we only had a specific amount of time to do it, and we were hoping to make it into a feature film, which is a film that's longer than an hour or an hour and a half.
Right.
Typically an hour and a half is what's considered a feature, and essentially it came out to like 20 minutes, unfortunately. But
it's hard, man.
it's fucking hard, dude. We thought we had it too. We were like, oh, we have it, but no.
No, it's because sometimes like this is what I tell people when I record. For example, I don't know if you do it the same way, but I over record.
Mm-hmm.
I always overshoot.
Because you could cut it.
Yeah,
it's better to have more than.
It's better to have more than
yeah.
to not have like what I need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I always do. I always overshoot. I have more shots of like a lot of things and like whatever. And I'm just like looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't work or whatever. And sometimes you even go back and you're like, you know what? I can put this here like now and like like just. It's so much easier nowadays because back in the day, they had to fucking.
Yeah, I know. It's like digital and stuff. Yeah, I'm so spoiled, man. I don't
dude.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's why I'm like, if it was like it used to be before, I wouldn't even fucking try to. Like that shit's just fucking.
It's wild, man. It's wild.
Because I see the guys like with the fucking like
yeah,
and
dude.
They have the magnifying shit.
Gotta attach it for.
Dude, I have respect for people who like shoot on.
And there's people that still do that shit because
Yes,
like
dude.
when they say like Oppenheimer, like when they say that they did it on fucking film,
yes,
that's
dude.
how they need to do it. And
Did
it's
you see the
fucking
projector? How fucking big it is, dude? It's as big as the bed, dude. Your bed. It's as
well, and
it's
it
that
fucking
big.
it's broken down on a bunch of fucking theaters and shit, 'cause they don't even know how to fucking use it.
Use it, man. That's a ghost. That's how
But
it goes.
so basically, the story for your movie basically it was almost already written. You just needed to kind of write around and connect,
Yeah,
like
the story
everything.
plot points.
Execute your vision.
Yeah,
man.
So I mean that's pretty cool. I like when it's like something like I don't believe in ghosts. I'm a fucking skeptic.
He's a skeptic for sure. We gotta
Okay.
show him some, or maybe you can tell us that story later.
Yeah.
I have a lot of I've gone through a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, I think that it just depended on me on what I was going through and what other people were going through.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I don't believe in like ghosts, but I believe in energy of like people and shit.
That's interesting.
So like when somebody's being negative, like you can fucking feel it, or you can feel it in the room. Like why is everybody being so quiet and shit? Like, things like that. So I feel like if you're like for example in that house when you say like, oh well, there's like something here. Like sometimes when they tell you that, you're already put in that mindset.
Yeah.
That you're like there's something here.
Predisposed to that idea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I respect everybody. My wife does believe in ghosts. I don't. I like her. But I'm also blind, so I've always told people like, because my cousin wants to take me on a hunt,
A ghost tour.
and he's always like, oh, you're like, come on, dude. And I was like, dude, the fucking ghosts can be like right here,
You're not gonna
and I'm
see
not gonna fucking see shit.
That's funny, dude.
So, I'm open to it. I'll do whatever. And the crazy thing is, like, I like scary shit. Like, I really love scary shit. I just watched Talk to Me.
Dude, Talk to Me so fucking good, dude.
They kind of
Have
like
you seen
just
it? I
went
haven't
around-
seen it. It's so good.
They just kind of went around, and it was 2 YouTubers.
I hear everybody.
Dude, yes, it's 2 YouTubers, dude.
From Australia.
Beautiful.
But I just saw it and I was like, yeah, this is like the idea is fucking cool. Something that I hadn't seen, like, so I like that kind of shit. I also like gore porn. I also like, depending, Right now, one of my favorite movies is Terrifier 2.
That's funny. I'm gonna watch Terrifier this week.
They're putting it on the theaters again. Terrifier 2.
Nice.
Theaters for Halloween. So
Good deal, man.
if you can go see that, and if you're queasy, don't fucking eat.
Don't do it.
Yeah, so far it's
I'm not. I mean, if you're a filmmaker, dude, you'll
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
it.
for sure.
Because that's what I watch. That's how I tell my daughter. I was like, watch it for the filmmaking and like the artistry of like the special effects. See it like that. Don't see it as like, like rip his head. Like, no, see it as like, how the fuck did they do that?
No, the passion of the director too. They do a good job, man.
So she's like, I showed her the thing, and she was like, this is fucking like no CGI. I was like, no CGI at all.
Practical effects.
It was all practical effects. It was all reverse fucking like film. It was all
beautiful, beautiful, man.
But so when you were in this house, you're saying that you did kind of like, you know, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Well, something did happen, but the context is a little different. It wasn't spooky. It was actually kind of nice in a weird way. So the dad in the story, he passed away a couple of years ago. So the house, and one of the reasons why they were selling the house is because it's like the family's not really there anymore. You know, the kids are grown, and the mom, which is a really, really cool mom. She was like what the people on set would just call her mom. It was really funny. But essentially, the dad had passed, and I guess from the words of the mom and the daughter, he was a very lively person. He was very happy and go lucky and positive. And so when we were there, the atmosphere was actually really
peaceful.
Yeah, happy, and we were working hard. You know, it's a job, but it was a job that we were all enjoying. And you know, we were laughing a lot. You know, we were coming up with the script and the scary story, but the atmosphere of the filmmaking itself was very positive.
That's great.
Like from the words from the mom, she hadn't had a lot of company there in a really long time, and there was a crew of like 20 or 20 to 25 people constantly there, and we're laughing, we're having fun. And when we were developing the script, again, it was myself, Frank, Jorge, Kennedy, our incredible production designer, Victoria Roman, and the mom and Kennedy. And so we were there, we were laughing, we were having a good time, we're like discussing, we're eating, you know, we're talking about the script. And the mom was like, well, let's go upstairs. And keep in mind, they're packing. Everything's kind of already getting packed.
They're ready to leave.
And so we're climbing upstairs, and keep in mind, we've been in the first floor, because it's 2 stories, for the majority of we were there for 4 hours. For like 2 straight hours, we were just there in the first floor. And as we're climbing up, you can smell cologne. It was very heavy. It was like as if someone sprayed it then and there. And it from the words of the mother and Kennedy, it smelled like the dad. And it had, and I smelled it, right? Like, I'm a bit of a skeptic as well. So I was like, whoa, that's a little weird. And so as I was smelling, the mom, her name is Amparo, she called to her daughter, Kennedy. She was like, Kennedy, come here. And Kennedy's like, what's going on? And she stopped, and she didn't have to say anything. She's like, it smells like my dad. Why does it smell like my dad? Wow. And I think from Amparo's words was, you know, we had brought life back into the house, and it's as if he was there with us, kind of enjoying the good time. Yeah,
beautiful.
So that's what like when you're like telling me this. It's because I look to a lot of, like, when I talk about my skepticism, to a lot of like Stephen Hawking, like how he would explain, you know, how the world kind of works, and how we're all particles, and even the air is a particle that we can't touch and see, but it's there. We're breathing it.
Yes, sir.
You know. So like when people talk about ghosts and stuff like that, it's like energies that are left over from like people that were. They're not here like really, but
it's interesting.
So it's like, for example, like if I die and I had lived, which I haven't, but I had lived in this house for like my whole life, so my energy would be here.
Like it permeated the environment.
So like basically somebody could come in and it's like, I saw, you know, this guy like walking through the fucking hallway because I walked through that hallway how many fucking times in my entire life?
That's interesting. I actually like that a lot.
So when you say about the cologne, for example, like all these positive energies, it's basically all these positive energies that are like being brought like by you guys, by everybody there.
Yeah,
the energy of the crew.
It's like energy can't be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. So that's interesting.
So like it brings out all this positive energy too from the house, from
That's
everything. That's how I believe it, because this is, and it kind of all started, my skepticism, it all started with my kid, because she was scared, when she was a kid, like, oh, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. I'm like, don't be fucking scared, because when have you ever heard anybody dying, like, from a ghost, aside from in the movies, And yeah,
well,
like
I mean, people say that they got possessed and then they killed themselves.
There's some
it's like a whole
stories.
thing, yeah.
But it's something that's like not like proven.
Yeah.
It's something that's like not scientifically proven.
Right.
Which I mean,
agree.
it doesn't really like need to be like, oh, whatever. But I just see it as like, yeah, they went crazy. Sometimes I feel fucking depressed and I just don't feel like doing anything and I just don't feel like talking to anybody, and nobody can fucking explain to me why. Like, there's no reason for me to be like sad, for example, yet I am. So like all these people that they say like, oh, I got possessed, there doesn't have to be like a fucking explanation of like a fucking ghost took over me.
I can see that.
It's not necessarily, that's what I mean, like it's not necessarily, it could just be like my fucking brain just
or like
had
a
this,
chemical imbalance.
yeah, like
totally.
it just had this.
I don't know. I feel like there is a. I'm just gonna play devil's advocate for the sake of the conversation. I think there is.
No shit.
I think there are things you specifically can't explain, right? And that's why they call them like phenomenons or etc. But I mean, I guess I'll go into another ghost story that I had separately, a completely separate film, and it was a feature. And I don't know if you guys watch Nuke's Top 5.
Yeah.
I come out in it. So one of my videos comes out in Nuke's Top 5, and the specific video is when we went to film a feature film. This is back in 2014, 15. We were in the jail cell, the abandoned jail cell in Las Cruces. Do you know which one?
Yeah,
The Downey.
Okay.
The Downey County. And that one also Skeleton Crew, and for those who don't know what Skeleton Crew means, it's just basically bare bones crew. So there's 5-6 people, that's it. So it was myself, my brother, the director, the PD, and
So it's just the basic people that you need.
yeah, because usually on a set you'll have like 30, 40, 50 people, sometimes 100 depending on the budget.
Helpers and shit.
So there was like maybe 10 of us total, including the actors, and it was like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. It was hella late. We were locked in for the entire night. So it was a 4 p.m. No, it was a 5 p.m. to 10 a.m. set. It was a very tough set, but we were there for the day, or for the day into night to day, and we essentially had lunch. So the basic rule of thumb is every 6 hours you have to feed your crew. That's like a kind of like a universal.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah. So it hit the 6 hour mark. It was like fucking, I don't know. Again, I don't remember the time. It was like a.m. It was like a late a.m. So it was like 3 or 4 a.m. Everyone was having lunch. I wasn't hungry. And I was very young, so I was like, I'm okay. I want to do something. And the director was like, okay, well, we need, this B-roll, this extra shot for the film. And in the story, it was the sister, played by Chelsea Foster, an actor. She was walking by this abandoned. In the story, it's the serial killer's lair. Mm-hmm. So she's walking down this hallway, and I had this digital camera, this night vision camera, and I'm following her. And in the story, the killer was going to send that to the detective because it was the sister. And so he was going to receive a tape, and it was a tape of her sister like wandering the hallways. So we needed to get that besides filming the actual film. So he was like, hey, you and Chelsea go to like the 3rd floor and just film her walking
I think I remember
around.
this.
And
I think I remember it.
oh, okay. So yeah. And so she's walking down, and keep in mind, like I don't know if you guys know Downey County, but there's like several floors, including a basement level.
Right.
And so we were in the basement level. So we were in the lowest floor. It was only us. They locked us in, and there was like 5 of us, 2 of us, myself and Chelsea, and even Mason. There was another guy that joined us. Went to like the 3rd floor. So we were like, no one could go near us, and no one could be around us, and so I had my camera, and as we're walking, we hear like a big fucking slam, and you can hear it in the video, and even Chelsea hears it, and she goes, wait. And then in that exact moment, and I swear this happened, I fucking hear a whisper, like right by my ear. And my reaction is almost immediate. I go, oh shit, and I close my camera. It was just like a natural reaction. I just closed my camera. And Chelsea told me that she saw something behind me. Yeah, dude.
Oh,
it was
snap.
wild. And it was crazy, and I was like, what the fuck? And we like ran out of there. It was really funny.
See, and you weren't even thinking that.
Yeah,
you were shooting your shot.
I was just shooting my shot. Yep.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah, but like my explanation for that is like, what is the energy in that place? You know, it's fucking mostly negative energy. You know,
and a sound. You know, like a sound to me is like how could an energy do that or like record that into the environment?
Because it happens. You know, like wind makes sound.
So I guess a better example would be, okay. So a couple years later, that fucking place, dude. That place always brings me back.
Wow.
Because a couple years later, like 2-3 years later, we got together with the wigwam, the ghost hunters of El Paso. We got together with them, and they're like, hey, do you guys want to film some ghosts? And we're like, sure, whatever, because I like spooky shit. And they were like, we're gonna go to the Donata County again. And I was like, this fucking place is bringing me back.
Wants him, man.
And funny enough, I filmed again this year to that same fucking place. So I'm always coming back like consecutively.
Well, because if it's like they say, like if it's active, you know,
it's like a hot spot.
It's a hot spot for sure.
That's what I mean. So like, for example, I went to San Diego with my family. This is a good explanation for like, you know, the kind of like energy that you feel and what you're doing. Because when you were there, you guys kind of were like recording spooky shit.
Yeah, as a hype.
Or like you're going into this and you're and like, oh, we're going to find ghosts or whatever, you know.
Expectation.
So when I went to San Diego, we went to Old Town San Diego, which looks like a fucking like old school west fucking town.
Lamps and stuff.
We had never seen it. We just stumbled upon it and we were like walking around or whatever, and we saw like haunted tour, and we're like, let's fucking take the haunted tour, right? Whatever, fucking $8. We go into a house there, and they're telling us all these like fucking spooky stories, and that there's like it was a gallows there, there was all this shit, and I had my Nikon camera, and I was taking pictures of everything. It was back when I could see more, but I was like taking a bunch of pictures and shit. And like whatever, and like they take us, they did like we're gonna turn off the lights, all this bullshit. You know, whatever. I mean, I like that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's fun. Man.
But I was like, okay, they had like, you know, like art that was made with like hair and shit, and we were like, oh, that's fucking disgusting. But like we get out, you know, like we get out, and we're like, it was cool. Later on, I'm like looking something. It wasn't Nuke Stop 5. It was something else.
There's a lot of them.
But it was probably like something where they were talking about specific places, and they were talking about that house. It's called the Whaley House, and it's supposedly like the second most haunted fucking house like in the United States. And I was there, and I took a shitload of pictures. And I looking through my pictures, nothing. I didn't feel nothing. But that's the thing. I didn't go with that mentality. I didn't go like saying, you know what, I'm gonna fucking find some ghosts, and I'm gonna like. Maybe I didn't pay attention, you know, maybe because I was just there on vacation with my family and I was like, well, whatever. But I didn't go with that mentality. Maybe if I would have gone with that mentality, maybe I would have like seen something, heard something. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not saying like, it's because I don't call bullshit on people either, because I do believe, like when I was a kid, for example, me and my brother, and this is, I have no way to explain this, like not even with my fucking, but me and my brother slept in the same room, and one night every time that I would wake up from a nightmare or whatever, you go to your parents' room, and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to my parents' room. But I fucking woke up, and I saw this like devil fucking figure on a fucking rocking chair, but like on the door, and it was like just fucking rocking, and it looked red and shit, and
blocking the door,
like just blocking the door, like sitting there, and I was like, holy shit, and I was like, fuck. Because I was like, I can't run to my mom's because it's right there. And then I look at my brother, and my brother's looking at it too. And then I was like, What the fuck do I do? I don't know what fucking. I probably just went like, you know how kids go with that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And then I just went to sleep.
Wow.
What did your brother say?
I told him, he's like, yeah, like I saw it too, whatever. But we were kids, you know? And it could have been shadows, it could have been whatever it is. But like, there's shit like that, and a lot of shit has because my.
That's wild.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Because
You're
my
skeptic.
because my mom, you do this because I've gone through so much shit. Because my mom tried to basically cure me with like religion because I had diabetes. So my mom, ever since I was a kid, she's been taking me to like
It's a very Hispanic mom
and all
thing
this
to
shit.
do, you know?
And I've seen a lot of shit. I've seen people get possessed. I've seen my mom talking in a different fucking like because they're like saying that like somebody's like trying to fucking kill me and all this shit. I've seen like a bunch of shit, dude. But there was a point in my life where I started losing my vision, and I told my mom, you know what, Mom? Like, fuck this. Like, you've been giving a lot of fucking money to all this religious bullshit, and you could have given this fucking money to science, and I would not be fucking blind right now.
No, so I see where you're coming from that.
And I was like, so fucking, like, give me the money so I can get, like, a fucking pump, which I have now. Give me that money, I can get the pump, and I can get my eyes fucking, you know, and now I'm stable and shit.
Wow.
But, like, it's, like, almost too late, you know?
Yeah,
And that's why I kind of, like, don't like fucking religion and shit. I respect people if it does good. If it's people that are, like, being fucking, you know,
I feel like most people that don't like religion are they've had it forced down.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't. My mom wasn't forcing me to, but
She
I know
just
that
thought
she
that's
was
what's
looking
right.
to.
But there's always that avenue, right, of people being kind of not necessarily indoctrinated, but there's that weird relationship dynamic when you're young and you're kind of they use it as a problem fixer as opposed to
I just see through the bullshit of like a lot of things. Not necessarily everything in religion is bullshit, but I just see through the bullshit of you know, like the whole you giving money to to God, you doing this thing.
Questionable for sure.
And yeah, there's some things there's some pueblitos and shit where they use the money for like their church for real.
Good, right? Yeah,
But there's some fucking people that like, oh, they have a fucking Hummer, the fucking priest has a Hummer and shit.
Clearly, man.
And I hate that. And I just say like, yeah, you know what, like I don't believe in these things and whatever. I do believe in the energy and shit like that. And I do believe that like, for example, like for me, my whole life has been my grandpa, because he died when I was 8. And I've always felt like bad because when he died, the day before, I was 8 years old. I was kind of an asshole to him because I was like,
Little kid, yeah.
And then the next day he fucking died. And I've always felt fucking like guilty about it. But ever since then, like for everything, like I'm gonna go on stage, I'm gonna make my movie, I'm going to present this or that or whatever. It's always like, it's not God for me, it's Grandpa.
Oh,
And it's always like, hey, like fucking help me out here. And I'm not talking to his fucking ghost, but I know that like, it's just that energy that I fucking feel from him. And it's like, I feel good. When I think about my grandpa, I feel good. So that's what I'm talking to.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Not necessarily a fucking ghost that's gonna fucking carry me or... Because it's kind of creepy too to fucking feel like, oh, I'm watching porn and masturbating and there's grandpa like looking at me like, what are you doing, kid? Or you go something. No.
They choose.
But that's what I'm saying, like, so yeah, I feel that energy of my grandpa when I'm gonna do something good, you know, because that's what made me feel good, you know, like when I was a kid, grandpa was like my fucking, like my hero.
That's cool.
And now it's like, okay, that's the energy I'm gonna use.
Yeah.
So I talk to him, and I'm not necessarily like, if you see me talking to him, it's not, say, wait, pinche loco, güey, or like he's talking to a ghost. It's like, no, I know he's dead. I know he's not around us anymore, but he's around me. Like, I'm part of him. Like, you know, like he's part of me. That's how I see it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So when I hear all these ghost stories and stuff, yeah, I'm not saying necessarily, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you saw that. Like, you're just making it up.
Yeah.
There's some people that do make it up.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt.
There's a guy that's called John Wolf on YouTube, and he debunks a lot of the Nuke's Top 5.
Oh, well, dude, for sure.
Because there is a lot of
Without a
fake
doubt.
ones.
Yes.
So he'll be like,
For sure.
look, there's a cut right here when
Yeah.
he's like spinning and like,
Yeah.
or like the fucking ghost right there in the back is like a fucking cardboard cutout.
That's the good thing, man. You gotta have both sides to it.
Yeah.
You know? Because then when you see the real stuff, it does freak you
Yeah.
out. Man.
So like when because my girlfriend and I were obsessed with Nick's Top 5, and every single time we watch it,
Did you watch Chills? I just can't take his voice.
Oh no, I don't watch Chills.
But it's almost the same.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just his voice is just...
So when I'm watching with my girlfriend, literally I will say, I'll literally say that, like, that's fake. You can see the cut there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You catch it
Yeah,
yourself.
I catch it myself, and there's a lot of times where I want to say maybe 80% of what goes on Nukes is probably fake, but it's also fun in a way just to still watch.
Yeah, I watch
alone,
it. I
man.
watch it a lot, and I mean, as a skeptic, or even my wife tells me, like, "Why are you watching it if you don't believe it?" I'm like,
It's fun.
it's just sometimes it's super stupid. I like the ones where it's like puppets and shit, because like I've always been
Dude, the
scared of
puppet
puppets.
shit is scary, dude. Yeah.
Even if it's fake, like the puppet is just fucking creepy. But like, I understand, like, and that's why I watch it, because I like creepy shit. It's just it's whatever.
Dude, creepy shit's cool, man.
It is, man.
Yeah.
But that's why I have like all these things, you know, like I don't necessarily think that like, oh, fucking ghost is gonna come in and like do it.
As a kid, that scared the shit out of me.
But if there's somebody here and they start telling me like, fuck, dude, like I feel like bad energy's here because of all this shit, which there is people like that, I'll be like, you know what, like maybe this is not the place for you.
Yeah.
Because like, I just like a bunch of like weird shit with this,
Man, but honestly, it's endearing, man. You
And
watch
my
stuff
daughter
like
has
that,
gotten used to it.
Yeah.
And she believes in ghosts, and I've heard her say
Cool.
like, but I always, my comfort is like, hey, just fucking like, don't fucking.
Yeah, if it works for you, then
It's not gonna fucking happen. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you see a fucking ghost or whatever, it's like, whatever, just fucking flip it around. I'm like, that's because like a lot of
Are you
people
like
say
the
like,
opposite?
I'm the opposite because to me it's like connected me, like my childhood, to that openness, and that I've always craved stuff like this, watching like cryptozoology or paranormal.
But that's the
El
thing.
Paso history, man. Like,
I like all that shit.
yeah. And to me, if I'm open to it, it's like I'm more engaged with it. You know?
can, yeah. I mean,
and I've seen my share of stuff too, but it's like what you're doing with this movie is like bringing a whole new El Paso.
I can't tell you some of the. I can't tell you some. Of the It's true. You can do it with your phone, dude.
Yeah, dude. And the phones are getting like they're getting better.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, when I saw fucking iMovie on my phone for the first time, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
And I was putting music on clips and shit, and I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
Oh, beautiful.
On my phone, and it's like 1080p out and shit. And I'm like,
I would give it like a couple of years, and I want to say
well, this new iPhone, the new one's coming
Like
out.
15?
It,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
it fucking super powerful. But, like, apparently it's like a fucking, what did they say, like a PS4, like a little
the
bit better than a
graphics,
PS4.
yeah.
That's fucking insane to me.
I want to say my estimation would be like 2030, 2040. It's going to be really, and I'm talking like DSLR. It's going to be really hard to tell between a phone and
Yeah, just the
modern
fucking,
DSLRs.
Beautiful.
I think as technology advances, I think cameras will continue to be dominant in the context of.
Well, and the purists too, like
Yeah.
the people that are purists. Are
Without
gonna,
a doubt.
I use my phone a lot for if it needs to be something where, you know, we need to be running, we need to be doing this. The
Outdoors.
phone is fucking perfect, and it's fucking stable as shit. It's way stabler than a lot of the cameras. So and you can get like apps too. That, like,
Well, for sure. So I think cameras will always be a definitive way for
Yeah.
filmmakers. But like in 2040, it's gonna be hard to tell from this current camera to this current camera, or to the future camera. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy to think, yeah.
I think, and I want to say 10 years.
Be that
or-
capable.
Yeah, but again, technology is consistently advancing, including.
and it advances faster as we go too.
Oh, it does.
Because
It gets smaller.
That's so fucking weird that we as millennials
advanced. Yeah.
got to live, you know, from like home phones to
All the
now.
transition, yeah.
Which is wild, dude. This is fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. Like, I was like, when I was a kid, if they would have told me, like, bro, you're gonna be able to like do everything like with just your phone, I'd be like, whatever.
Or
Fucking
the
bullshit.
amount of information that you can get from just this thing.
Yeah, and
You know what I
everything.
mean?
But for example, like, you could put every single fucking the 800, 900 fucking Nintendo game
Oh,
on this
yeah.
and you still have a shitload of memory.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That shit has every fucking game, like on Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64. It has everything, dude.
Yeah,
and it'll fit all in a phone. It's fucking weird.
I believe it, man.
And it keeps growing now from like the terabytes. We go to fucking, like
oh, dude, don't even get me started on that shit, dude.
It just keeps going.
Even video games. Like video games are like 200 gigabytes.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gotta download it.
You gotta download like 300, 400 gigabytes.
It sucks because we used to put just the CD and then it's just like, okay, I'm ready to play. Now you put the CD and you're like, okay, I gotta leave.
You gotta wait for it.
In like 2 days or some shit.
Download it.
And then it downloads and you're like,
or the updates.
Update. Oh, you son of a bitch!
Updates. You're gonna be, you're ready to squad with the boys, dude. You're like, I got the day off, guys.
Dude.
Let's do it. You get there. It's an update.
And then it's like 3 hours.
See you guys next week. It's fine. Next week.
Messed up, man.
I tried, guys. I tried. Yeah, every time that my cousin, because me and Dr. Port, every time that we want to play, because he has a day off like a week. He's like, let's do it, dude, Sea of Thieves or whatever, and then we get in, it's like outdated, and he's like, fuck!
Yeah, man, get on top.
I was like, just put it on, put it on automatic updates,
I don't know, man.
But it's because you can't, because when you put it on automatic updates, it'll start updating when you're watching Netflix or some shit.
Yeah.
And then it'll just stop, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? Because shit is updating.
You have to leave it there by, oh, man.
So you have to like pause it, and then you forget you paused it. It's a fucking pain in the ass. But that's fucking better. Now I want to watch that movie. I'm gonna watch it. I swear.
You gotta see it.
Yeah, he did tell me. Don't fucking blame it on Juan. He did tell me, but it's fine, dude.
Blew me away though. Like, just the way it looks, the cinematography. Your brother did.
Yeah.
It's just you were gonna make it a feature.
We tried,
but geez, man, like in that 20 minutes, it's a whole story. It's told well. You guys did an amazing job. You directed like hell, and it just added mythology to El Paso, man, because that house, I used to live in Sunset Heights. Used to pass that house walking to downtown. It's a beautiful house.
Yep.
And now to know that that's got a story behind it, that like I don't know, did they ever tell anyone else that story? Did people take tours there and like that?
No, I mean they sold it. They sold the house,
sold it completely,
and now the new guys are dead.
Yeah.
Like Amityville.
No, well the story there, it's like the Asian stuff because have you heard of the Turtle House?
Mm-mm.
That's in Sunset Heights too, and that was supposedly a tunnel that was bringing in the Asian labor also.
That is
from Juarez.
That is
so that whole area has got stories.
There's a lot of fucking history.
There's a lot of history.
A lot of history, and that's why I love that you did that with this one because
not a lot of people
think
knew that we had a lot of Chinese immigrants build the railroads specifically in El Paso.
They didn't know, man. That's the truth. Yeah.
I'm gonna make one where Oñate is like the fucking piece of shit, like ghost.
Oh, yeah, man.
Trying to kill everybody.
That's a good point.
Because everybody's like, oh, Oñate. No, fuck that
Downtown
guy.
is his ranch, right?
Fuck that fucking guy.
Who's that?
He was the fucking conquistador that came here and like fucking brought it like all the commercial whatever, but he was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
he had like slaves and he killed a lot of people.
God damn,
but like he has a fucking statue.
Well, aren't they taking that down?
They're trying to still, I think they're, but it's because there's a lot of people that are like with him, and then there's it's just like
the wild story.
Yeah, it's divisive.
But that's El Paso, man. Like we've been here for such a long time.
The best of both worlds.
Yeah, we've got it all. But
hey, here in El Paso, the rest of Texas hates us, and then in Chihuahua, the rest of Chihuahua hates Juarez. And I'm like, they're just jealous that we have each other.
Yeah, we have the sister cities, especially with Cruces. Like that's like the trifecta.
The little,
that's right.
The little town off to the side.
You talk about Cruces. Cruces is coming up in the movie scene, man, right?
Dude, yes.
How are you like perceiving all that happening? What do you see happening in the future?
I for sure work is going to be without a doubt and not necessarily in El Paso for sure because it's by extension, but Cruces will have a pretty good film scene. I want to say it depends, right? But the current landscape for sure, jobs are gonna. You could be a filmmaker here, and you can probably make a living off of it. So I think especially that
Hector does.
CMI.
Hector makes a living off of his film.
Awesome, man.
Specifically CMI, like that's the Creative Media Institute in MSU.
Mm-hmm.
People can graduate, they get their credits, their hours to be part of the union, and then they can continue to work. And most of all, it's Hollywood money is you know, there it's a lot more expensive. So when they move here, they can basically make these movies for
quality for
a fraction of the price.
Beautiful, man.
A couple things that will happen, unfortunately, will be inflation because they're bringing in that money and they're boosting our economy. But that's also
Well, Cruces is a college town. Is what I've always
For sure.
said, because of
For
that
sure.
MSU. So like that's what I tell people. Like people from Cruces are not from Cruces. They come from like all over the fucking place to come to an MSU.
To MSU, yeah.
So like a lot of the people, for example, I'm sure there is, but like a lot of the people I know from Cruces, they came and they stayed.
Yeah.
From Seattle,
It's a good time.
from like here, from whatever. They just come and like live in
And
Cruces.
Cruces is a cool town, man.
Dude.
Like they respect the arts, which
Cruces is our Shelbyville.
Huh?
It's our Shelbyville.
That's what he said.
We're Springfield and they're fucking Shelbyville.
But
No,
they-
it's because I have a.
They love us, man, and we love them.
I'm not sure they love us.
I think there is a rivalry. Without
There
it.
always will be,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. Like the Shelbyville Springfield thing is like what is it? What is it? It's because it's not like really like hate. It's more of just like, well, you're my neighbor, bro. So
Yeah,
like, don't
yeah.
fucking cross my line, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change his mind on that, man. Cause I did a show in Las Cruces and
No, I'm not saying
support,
There's
man.
No, I've had a
They're
lot of
artists
shows.
over there.
I've had a lot of shows in Cruces too.
Yeah,
I mean, not art shows, but like
music
punk shows.
Yeah.
And they did have they actually had before us here in El Paso, they had a vinyl record scene there first.
Oh, nice.
Then it kind of like came over here. Like and I have friends in Cruces.
Yeah.
I have friends in Cruces. I love Cruces. Dude.
Yeah,
It
it
definitely,
is. And it's
definitely
shrinking.
is.
The separation is shrinking, and
So that's the thing. Like it's hard for them. It's harder for Juarez people to come over here and make it over here
absolutely.
than it is for us to go over there or Cruces to come over here.
Yeah,
Naturally.
So like when for example when I made the movie, I was thinking of we don't have a slasher. El Paso doesn't have a slasher.
Yeah.
Why hasn't anybody done a slasher? So that's how I came up with our Sangre Negra, our fucking
Chuco
slasher.
man. Yeah.
And I was hoping this is the beginning of it because of course Juan he's our killer now.
Oh, you're the killer, dude?
At the end,
That's
man.
badass,
It's because
dude.
he basically turned into a buff guy. So.
At the end,
He's so
yeah.
fucking sure. He's like,
Because he's right there, look, he's in the back, so that's how he originally looks.
His mask
Oh,
right
that's
there,
cool.
yeah.
That's how he originally looks, but at the end of the movie, turns out that he turns into like
He's like getting bigger little by little.
I love the wrestling mask influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, look.
And that's his story, kind of. You know?
Yeah, here in El Paso, we're like huge, like fucking
That's
nerds
very
geeks,
cool. I like that a lot.
and luchadors. So like that mask, I don't know if you recognize it, but you know Silverhawks. So the bad guy,
It
his
might
name
be
is
before
Monstar.
his time for sure. Silverhawks.
So the bad guy
cartoon.
is
Yeah,
Monstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
So that's why it's that obscure fucking mask.
Yeah, back in the day.
Nobody uses that mask. It's a luchador mask done
In that
about
style.
Monstar. And I was like, here in El Paso, we're huge geeks.
We're geeks, man.
I was
Yeah,
like,
we're
so the
definitely geeks,
slasher,
man.
it would make
It's a geek culture.
It
it
is.
would make sense that the fucking slasher is a geek.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's cool.
But I
That's
want to
very
make a
cool.
movie, a prequel, where they show why he kind of got mad and like is killing people.
That's very
And I want to do a black and white kind of like Santo style
That
movie.
is very fucking
With him.
cool, dude.
But he's gonna get canceled for something stupid, and that's why he's gonna be like super pissed.
That's
off.
interesting, and it's a bit of a social commentary as well.
Yeah, but like
cool.
from
That's really cool.
people say like like now everybody like people used to get canceled. We just didn't call it getting canceled. You know, like we just
It's
didn't.
called blacklisted.
Yeah, it was just being blacklisted.
Yeah.
So like
Careers over.
people things like times have changed. Like not really, dude. Everything fucking just repeats.
Just more
itself.
accessible. I guess because information.
Yeah, because the internet is
yeah.
like right there at your fucking.
That's interesting. I never thought of it like that actually.
Because like, dude, back in the day, we would have heard the Danny Masterson thing, for example, like on TV on the news, like once.
Right.
Dude,
And that's it.
I fucking see that shit like.
Oh, it's everywhere.
With so
Yeah,
much.
that's Danny Masters. Yeah.
So he just got like.
He
He's
fucked
gonna
with
go
a
to
Paso,
jail.
dude. That's what he did.
Yeah, Cedric. Was it Cedric's girlfriend?
Yeah, Cedric.
So he
Bush
was.
Zavala.
He's kind of a bad guy. He like raped some women.
I would.
Yeah, and he got like
He-
jail time for it recently.
He abused. Vita Coco?
Yeah. He was pretty.
But
prolific about
they
that.
didn't even charge him for the one for Cedric.
Right.
They charged him for 2 others. They gave him 30 years.
30 years. Yeah.
So they're saying like it's really setting an example because
Me
he's
Too.
such a fucking,
High profile.
high profile artist, and he still got 30 years to life.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe fucking people can stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
Because I hate it,
Lesson,
man.
Yeah.
For sure.
I hate it when I see a filmmaker, an artist, whoever,
Like
and
they
they're like,
use that shit.
you're like, oh fuck! Like when Kevin Spacey was there saying that shit, I was like, no,
I
Yeah,
know,
right.
dude. Not Kevin Spacey.
I was like,
Yeah.
well, because like Baby Driver and shit, I was like,
Dude,
no.
he's a great fucking actor.
Yeah,
Terrible
I was-
person, but
I was
great
like,
actor.
fuck. And now I'm like, hey, I can watch the movies in private, right? In private, well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna
Separate the art from the
Yeah.
person.
But it sucks that I can't even talk about it because I'll be like, hey, did you see Baby Driver? I was like, oh, the one with the.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That shit fucking sucks. and with bands, it fucking sucks a lot, dude. Because you feel like you can't even listen to that shit.
Yeah. It's a crazy world, man.
So, what are your plans right now, dude? Do you have any fucking like? Let's see the bigger picture here.
Well, so we ended up packaging Sunset Heights as part of our anthology, and we have a horror anthology that we do every year. It's called Silent Sounds.
Silent Sound.
And we decided to package it with it as like a film. We ultimately thought that The Haunting of Sunset Heights can kind of stand alone, separate from the anthology, so it's going to be its own thing. We're going to put it in festivals, and in bigger festivals hopefully. And right now, we're currently working on is I'm producing a feature film in Cruces with a producer by the name of Troy Senior from PRC, and so that's what my main focus has been currently in terms of like bigger projects. He's part of the Producers Guild of America. He's a really cool guy, and I guess being part of the Producers Guild of America is cool, but most of all, I think what I really like about Troy specifically is he's just super down to earth, and he's a really genuine person, and I think that's what makes me gravitate towards him. And he just wants to film, and that's something that's really cool, and he's willing to compromise on the scope of the film. It's his idea, he's directing it, but he's allowing myself as a producer to
Have some creative.
kind of creative, but like also to elevate the current like script to what it needs to be, and that's something he told me. He's like, if you want to be a producer, you need to be able to tell. You need to be able to make it the best version it needs to be, and it's your job. And I thought that was really cool. And
Beautiful, man.
like, do you need a?
No, I was looking to see if
okay.
they were there.
But yeah, you know, it's really cool to work on that. That's gonna be if we it's the whole SAG and WGA strikes.
Yeah.
Are complicating things.
Very
And we don't obviously we want to stick. It's part of the PGA, so we want to stick within the guidelines. We don't want to. What's cool is the WGA and SAG are being very reasonable. Their fight is with the bigger companies.
Yeah.
And we're just indie filmmakers. We're not trying to take advantage of the situation at all. If anything, we're trying to keep the boat going. And so with this particular project, there's certain demands that the WGA and SAG are essentially like they're demanding some I guess their guidelines, and we're meeting all of those guidelines.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's solidarity. So it's nothing like we're not trying to. I think there's like a word for it, but we're not trying to take advantage.
No,
of it.
definitely.
We're trying to do it right, which is why it's taking the time that it has taken. But
As long as it is.
yeah, and so that's like a big project that I'm working on, and that's the thing that I'm trying to do right now. So we're hopefully finishing the script. We're gonna send it to SAG, and
Right now.
That's what we're talking about. Like
Yeah.
being like real careful with that stuff.
yeah, like we're meeting all the demands that they're asking us. We're not trying to like.
So they're saying that it's fucking taking a while to get a response for the finalized.
The compromise.
Yeah,
of
it
the-
fucking sucks,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, dude. And so that that strike has really affected
Everything does.
Yeah, dude. And so, you know, like, you never think, like, oh, that's not going to affect me. No, it literally affected.
No, because it even affect all the independent movies are affected. They can't fucking come out because they haven't gotten the response from SAG, dude.
For sure. And like for us as indie, we're at an indie level, so naturally, like, again, we allied with SAG and WGA, obviously, and so you know, we're taking, like I had said, we're taking the precautions to be able to continue to film. And even SAG sent out a letter to all the actors saying, like, if you have work, you should still work, but make sure it meets our demands.
Right.
And we're talking with SAG, and essentially SAG said, like, yeah, but now we just need to finalize the script, talk to SAG, and then when SAG approves, we can start.
It's because a lot of people think that, like, you're independent, it just means that you just do everything by yourself.
Yeah, that's.
Which sometimes, yeah, okay, like, if it's something that's like Indian, like my movie, like, yeah, okay, you can release it, but as far as like putting it out there, like to be in theaters, to
distribution,
be
all that kind of
to
stuff.
be all that shit, you need to follow all the guidelines and shit, so that everybody gets paid and like everything is met like fairly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just think like, what the fuck, like my favorite movie didn't come out. Why? Like they're like a fucking like a nobody or whatever, but they're like, no, dude, they still need to get all
wild,
that shit.
It's definitely wild.
Yeah, I learned all that shit just through me doing all this shit and like looking at, because I even had to look at like licensing the songs from the band. I got local bands, but I was like, I don't want to get into fucking like into a fight with one of these guys.
Yep.
And then like they're like, well, we're gonna fucking sue you because you used our song, and I'm like, oh fuck. So I had to look at all that shit and be like, I'm gonna license that shit properly, even if you're giving it to me for free. I need that shit in
That's
writing.
what you gotta do, dude. That's literally what you gotta do.
I need that shit in writing, that you're giving it to me for free,
And you learn.
and that I'm using it in whatever way I want to use it. And yeah, they were all fine with it. I have all the emails and shit, but I had to learn because I was like,
when it comes to distribution or any of that type of business, like the main thing, and I remember my girlfriend, she's an assistant director, she's also a location manager, and she's working with this dude who's been in the business for years, and he literally said, cover your ass.
Yeah.
Everything, cover your ass. Like if someone tells you to do something, you repeat it, and then you let them know, like, okay, like, get me this and move this. Do you want me to get you this and move this? Yes. Okay. And
yeah, so like it's a confirmation basically. It happened, dude. Like when I made the movie, one of the bands was like unhappy, and I was like, fuck, dude. And I was like, how do I fix this? And I was like, okay, I'll do a different edit for the YouTube, and I'll make sure everybody's happy. And then like once I released it, like on YouTube, it's like the extended cut. Basically, I have to add a scene so that I could put a song on there, so that I could move the song of the guys that were unhappy to the credits and like all this shit. And everybody was happy, and I was like, oh fuck yeah. And I was like, can you just tell me you're happy with it? Like, oh, yeah, like this is fine. And I was like, alright, fuck
the
yeah.
wild horse, dude. The wild horse.
But you never can make every single person like completely happy. You can't, because I tried it. This is a short,
I mean, it's not your job to make
shitty ass
something happen.
fucking movie. No, but you still kind of want everybody to at least be
you want
content.
people to be content for sure. But I do agree. Like at some point, you can't.
No, there's a point where it's like, well, how come I'm not in the movie as much and we recorded like for this fucking amount? And it's like, bro, like, if it didn't pertain to the story,
there's a lot of that.
if it didn't pertain to the story, if it didn't work, if the shot wasn't good, if the audio was fucked up, whatever it is, like I couldn't use it. I'm really sorry, and you have to apologize like from here to the end of the earth. But they're gonna be like, well, all right, whatever. And you're just like, fuck, man, like why can't everybody be happy?
I feel for you. That's how it is, dude.
Dealing with the actors, dude, sometimes they're like, you gotta do this. And they're like,
no,
I'm
dude.
not gonna do that. And I'm like, we fucking need this shot. And they're like, nah, man, like that's just, I don't know, that's crossing the line. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay, let me, right there, you're like, let me think of other things that we can do maybe. And this is with like my cousin and his friend, dude. This is not even like actors.
Yeah.
But it's opinion.
Wouldn't want to.
It definitely gets better.
But
Definitely gets better.
once you fucking have your final product, it's always like, this is
that's
like
what's
my
all
baby.
about, man, for sure.
So I want you to watch our movie too.
Yeah,
For sure,
watch
dude.
his movie.
Yes, send me the link, dude.
Watch his movie.
I know it's on YouTube, it's free, but I know that it's not gonna be up to your
to your level. You gotta see, man.
But you gotta watch it.
Like that's the thing though. Like film in itself, there's what's really cool about filmmaking is that the quality isn't necessarily important. Sometimes, I mean, it definitely is on a professional level, right? But you know, when you're a novice, you know, you create something, and I think that's more than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll have people ask me to read their stuff, and naturally, as someone who's been doing this for a decade at this point, you know, I mean, you know this, right? Because you're literally an artist. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when people show you their work, you know, you've learned so much, and you're thinking, well, you know, you're on that journey. You know, I'm on chapter whatever, and you're on chapter this. And that doesn't necessarily mean that both people are not reading the same book.
Right.
It's just reading different chapters.
Different chapters. Yeah.
And I think with specifically with like filmmaking, because it is a beast. You know, I get a lot of that where they're like, oh, you know, like it looked so amazing, and I'm like, thank you. Like, I mean, it's more my brother. You know, the look is all my brother. But in terms of like the direction and the acting,
getting it done.
Yeah, that stuff is that stuff that comes with the time, and it comes with, you know, like working with child actors too is very difficult.
Sure.
And I didn't have time. I didn't have time to, because like when you're working with actors, and when you're working with in general with an actor, you're asking them to open themselves up to the possibility, or if not the inevitability, of being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you tell them, you know, be sad, that's not how directing works.
Right,
yeah,
right,
like if I were to, you know, direct someone, I would have to reach a level where we can both mutually trust each other, and that person can open up to me, and I can open up to them, and we can together create something, you know. And with the child actors, it was really cool, because towards the end they were very shy, and they were very like timid, and they didn't want to, like, you know.
Was this their first time?
No. Some of them were, you know, like child actors. They knew they wanted to be in film, but like it's those, you know, like generally our sets are much larger than typically what we would see.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it was a bit of a shell shock to see all these people and all these lights, and you know, it becomes a bit of a. It can be intimidating for newer people, especially younger. I want to say younger, because they weren't necessarily new, but they were very young.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the first thing I did was like I have to get to know, not necessarily get to know them. Like I didn't want to force that like, because you don't want to force that connection between your actors. So I was like, I need to be able to break the ice with them, and I need to be able to build rapport where they can you know, have fun with it. So that's literally the first thing we did when I met them, is I played games with them. And I was like, we did red light, green light, and it was a lot of that. It was a lot of building that relationship, and it was really funny, because towards the end, they were making jokes, they were dancing around, and I was able to connect to them. And there's this the ending scene with her name is Cyan, the daughter. That ending scene, with no spoilers, you know, when she's alone in the staircase, she genuinely shed a tear. And I like looked at her, and I was like, that was beautiful. Like that was genuine. And we had created that rapport where she was able to let herself be, and let herself be vulnerable, and that was incredible.
Really being the part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
those kids did a great job.
Yeah, thank you, dude.
Honestly.
And
that's a big part of you. Like,
I appreciate that.
You brought it out in them.
And we had such little time to, you know, do that. So I am proud in that context of not having a lot of time, because we had to, like, they were moving out. You know, we only had a month. And so it was definitely difficult, but it was one of those challenges that but I appreciate it.
Yeah, you learn from yourself too, right?
Oh, dude, and
Jeez.
those specifically those 3 actors, the child actors, they're such fucking champs, dude. Because we were there from like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and these are kids. And you have to ask these kids to stay and to act and to, you know, and it's like, it's wild. And so, you know, it was, I wish at the premiere I wasn't able to like talk to them. I really wish I could talk to them one last time and be like, what do you guys think? What's up? You know, catch up. Hopefully in the future.
Yeah. Where'd you guys do the premiere?
We did the premiere last year.
Okay.
And we did it for Halloween.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was cool. It was the first time they saw the movie. And like I said, it was so much fun. And,
So impressive.
And yeah, like that's to me was the I guess best part of what I like about directing is it's kind of connecting and finding. Ultimately, for me, whenever I'm directing, it's all about what the scene has and what its truth is. And so, you know, just an example, if it's a very serious, scene, and one of the actors decides to crack a joke, it could work in the context of maybe he's like, why did he make that decision, right? Or why did the actor decide to play it more funnier if it's a serious scene?
Yeah.
So then you have to look at the truth of it, right? So then the truth would probably say, maybe he's trying to crack the tension. So then that in itself, you can justify the decision of the actor. Or you completely cut it and you say, no, that guy wouldn't do that. If this is a very serious situation, he wouldn't do that. So it's ultimately inevitably about finding the truth of each scene. And those scenes' truth has to combine together to make the ultimate truth, which is the film, right?
Yeah.
So inevitably, the Haunting of Sunset Heights is about 2 friends.
2 friends, right?
And
that's the truth.
And that's the truth of the scene. So inevitably, we have to showcase them, right? And hopefully, you know, the scares is just kind of part of it. And I think that was the exciting prospect when working on this very stressful set. It was very stressful, dude.
She knocked out, man. And not what you're saying, like it's the outdoor, right? Like your business is to really get that story out and make sure that they're doing that. I'm telling you, the quality of the film just impressed me so much, and it made me think that El Paso, like, you're just moving the needle, man. You really are for the whole scene, because that people see that and it was made here by people from here, and it's like, okay, now we move here. Like, this is what we're doing now. The past is the past, and you should be so proud.
Thanks, dude.
You should just and tell your brother too, like, just beyond, man. It's as the whole art scene in the community. What you guys did with this movie, I'm showing everyone I can. I've sent it to California, and it's like, check it out on Vimeo. It's just so impressive. You're so young still. You still got a lot like of your future ahead, and your career still started. It's just going, man. It really
Woo!
is.
Sorry, guys.
No, don't worry. Nah, man. We just went through like how.
I know. I heard some.
Because directors, you don't think that. You think that they're just there, knocking on all the scenes and whatever. But to have like a real connection with the person,
it's basically that. It's directing to me is connecting and well, an example I would give you too is like Jay Stratton. I work with him a lot, and I work with him specifically. He's a UTEP professor, and we work together and we work well because there's this mutual respect of artistry, and you know, he would go up to me sometimes and whenever there's a line, he would ask like, would I do that, or I feel like I would do this, and then from there we had that conversation of, well, why would you do that? Justify it. Like, tell me why would you do this?
Yes, sir.
And then from there, that's the conversation whenever you're building the scene.
Right.
And same with Jenny Robbins. I've worked with Jenny Robbins since 2016. I met her 2017, and she's one of my favorite actors to work with too, because she challenges me constantly. She would say, "Why am I doing this?" Or why would I do this?
What's the motivation?
Yeah, what's the motivation? And then from there we have that conversation. And
that's cool though that they ask those questions because my experience with I'm barely starting.
Amateur. Yeah.
But like the people, they don't know to ask those questions. So
For sure.
I gotta tell them, dude, like, you're getting chased. Like, you gotta be fucking scared. Like, don't just have a fucking, like, whatever.
Well, that's what's beautiful about when you build your
relationships with
not just that, but when you start to direct, you kind of have this, what I call the emotional toolbox, right? So, specifically with the kid actor, I wanted him to look scared, and I just can't say, hey, be scared. I said, you have your methods, right? There's different methods of getting the performances, and so I told him, walk as if you're really cold. So you can intellectualize that, and he can do this.
Yeah,
he's shaking because he's cold, but as an audience, we related to he's scared. Yeah. So it's different things like that, where like as if you got bit by a dog, or as if you're tired, you just finished running.
Right.
Yeah,
and
there's different things.
There's like different ways of
yeah, because there's also the people that are like, oh, like, they're hurt or whatever, and they'll be like, hit me right before the fucking, so that you're like,
that's like very method.
so
Yeah,
that they can be like, what? Fuck, yeah, but like it works, you know, like, and that depends on the actor, because some people don't want to fucking touch them and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all depends on, some people are like, no, like, when I have the blood, it's like, no, dude, fucking, you know, fucking put all the blood that you want, dude, fucking do it.
Yeah.
And I'm an actor in one of the fucking,
the scene.
and I had to throw away all my fucking first.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the bloodiest probably, but
Threw away my shirt.
and I want to do more special effects and shit. But
Special effects is cool, man.
because I basically have none. And it was done the Texas Chainsaw Massacre way, where you don't see anything. But
Well, dude, I mean, arguably that is more effective.
It is,
because you leave it to the audience and their imagination.
But sometimes you do want at least a little bit. For example, like for me, it would have been cool to do, because I wanted to do a stabbing, and I wanted to show just like a fucking glimpse of just like the knife going into somebody's like torso, even though it's not their torso. But since it's like a flash of it, like once you flash that and people see it, they know like fuck, like it's continuing, and even if they're not seeing it anymore, So you're basically just giving them the idea, and like boom, and then you continue.
Yeah, you plant the seed,
and then they're like, oh fuck, because like I've seen some people with mine with the chainsaw that they're like, dude, like with the, and I'm like, I really didn't show anything.
Sound design is very effective too. Like sound design.
Well, I'm sure you do like, you know, professional sound design, because I do it all myself here. With this guitar.
I mean, that's cool, dude. That's fucking cool.
This is what I use, the guitar. YouTube.
You missed that part. We're talking about how like his movie like kind of like moved the scene forward, I believe. But like it starts everywhere, man. And, like even what you did with Truco Midnight, it's like everyone's on a different chapter, right? Like, and we see that.
Dude, and I don't know if you see it this way, because you're bringing this up. I see a movie almost like a fucking, like a puzzle, because when I started this movie, it was all about one scene. All right, and when we finished that one scene, I was like, this needs something else. And then I fucking filmed another scene, and then when I filmed that, I was like, it's missing a middle part. And then I fucking filmed another scene, and then I was like, wait, now we need some setup. And then I filmed the beginning scene, dude, and then like. So like I put it all together, like it's not in chronological order. It's all like how I was like, wait, no, this story needs to be told this way. Oh no, wait, this is, and I kind of put it all together.
Dude. I mean, that's what filmmaking is. It's compromising and what we just talked about, finding the truth, right? So you were just finding the truth of what the film needed.
Well, because it was just gonna be nonsensical, kind of.
You thought.
And then at the end of the day, it kind of does have a story. And if you look into it, I'm pretty sure you can find it once you see it. It has a deeper story.
There's more to it.
It has a little bit more. It has a little bit more layers than what you just see. Because when you see it, it's just like, oh, this is fun. But if you truly like see it, you're like, okay, like they are telling you, people died. They are telling you, he escaped. They are telling you this and then that. and it's, to me, when I finished it, this is like my first short movie that I put out there.
Yeah.
Because I have a shitload of short movies that I did in high school, but they're just stupid shit that we did. So when I finished this movie, and this is a thing, maybe you can agree with what people told me. I kept telling people, come see my shitty movie. And they kept telling me, don't say that it's shitty.
Yeah.
Like, don't say that it's shitty, dude. I was like, because it's not shitty. It doesn't fucking matter if, like, somebody thinks it's shitty. You shouldn't be saying that your movie is shitty.
Yeah, I totally agree.
He's like, don't put it down.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And you know, thanks to that movie, they hired me for the
exactly right. Yeah.
And you know, that was the first thing I did in HD. Whatever. And
art.
they already had the idea. They pretty much had the script, and I just filmed it, edited it, and I added some stuff. That, of course, with their approval, I was like, we're missing this. Do you want me to add it? I'm like, yeah, do it. All right.
That's badass.
And I fucking added it, and now that one got a little bit more hype, and people are like, oh, we want to watch the next one. And I'm like, well,
That's how it starts, dude.
everybody wants to
That
see Chico
starts.
Midnight too, but right now my mind is in the project that I told you.
Yeah,
I told you right now, but I have a project right now, and it's a ghost project that I want to do, and it's gonna be a one man, all acted by one person. The whole movie, just one person, and I'm pretty much doing the Ash from Evil Dead,
Nice.
alone in the cabin kind of thing.
Nice.
That's but here. Nice. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to do it, and maybe I'll put it together for November 2nd.
Beautiful.
Hopefully.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah. And maybe we can see you there. If you want.
Cinema Studios, man. Well, we're all gonna support each other.
It's a Día de los Muertos.
That's cool.
November 2nd. Well, yeah, man. Thanks again for coming out.
Before you go, I want to give you some stuff because nobody leaves empty-handed.
Oh, sweet, dude.
Nobody fucking leaves empty-handed here.
He always thinks of this stuff.
I will give you
Good
your
dude.
size shirt, but right now this is just a.
Oh, yeah, man. The Chabelo. So that's a satanic Chabelo, man.
It was before he died that we made this.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, it is.
He's in hell
That's
now.
right,
I'm
man.
just kidding. He's not in hell. If there is something, he is in hell.
I got that one, man.
That's badass, dude. Thanks, man.
And we have some stickers.
Got some stickers.
We have some. These are the from movie.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah,
That is fucking cool, man.
I did a bunch of promotional shit because I was like, oh, we're
Dude,
gonna have a
this is
premiere.
fucking
So
cool, man. I dig this.
there's a poster.
Oh, dude, that is fucking cool.
He's all about it.
That is a poster.
That is really fucking
Every single scene, poster, artwork was done with the iPhone.
Yeah.
That's
That's the
what I'm saying.
future, man.
Damn, because that's really fucking cool, man.
Every single fucking item. That's all.
Midnight, man.
This is our podcast, and this is Chapulín Colorado as a with corpse
Oh,
paint.
yeah. We got
Hell
that one.
yeah.
I got that
Dude,
one,
this
too.
is all fucking cool, man. I'm digging all of this.
He's a
dude.
creative dude,
Yeah,
man.
This
He
is
is,
really
man.
fucking cool, dude.
We also have Juan's. Right, yeah. The Juan made me this painting,
Marcator.
and I felt like I'm not worthy of not sharing it, so I fucking made stickers.
Dude, hell.
Man, I love it like
Yeah,
that.
dude, this is fucking cool.
I was like, no, man, everybody needs to fucking, everybody needs to have a piece.
It's hidden up in here.
But yeah, those are the stickers.
This actually is.
I was missing some more
Favorite
stickers,
dude.
but yeah, but those are for now.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, you have
La
some.
Parca with Skeletor.
It's because that's my favorite.
La Parca's dope, dude.
My favorite. Well, he's not my favorite wrestler. I fucking love him though. My favorite wrestler is Rayo de Jalisco.
Oh, yeah.
But Skeletor is like my
Oh, yeah, he's your
my
villain,
main guy.
man. He's the villain.
And I follow an account on TikTok where all he does is give you like facts.
And then he
That-
runs away.
Yeah. Until next time.
Remember, the default state of humans is female. Males are an add-on. Until we meet again!
Beautiful.
I fucking love that shit. But Skeletor is my favorite. La Parca, of course. Just anything that has to do with Skeletor. I used to play a guy, well, that's why they call me a creep. So when I played in a band, I used those masks, those two.
He's the creeper.
So that's the first one. It's all fucking legendary and fucked up. And that's the last one. after I retired.
That's kind of cool.
But yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming and joining us,
having
dude.
me, dude.
I promise you, I'm gonna do a little. I'm not gonna say a review, but I'm gonna watch your movie.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna post it after this episode.
Hell.
I don't think I'm gonna tear it apart just because I like to support like local, and I don't think it's.
No, it's special, man. I mean, if you
Especially me, man. I have a movie out there. I can't talk shit.
No, it's.
I'll be like, that movie fucking sucks, dude. No. I saw I was watching the trailer, and I was like, this looks fucking gorgeous. Thanks, man. So I try to put everything ghosts.
Oh, I knew.
Demons World.
The twist is amazing, and it's man, I haven't seen it done.
But
ever. I think you did a great job.
I'll watch it, and I'm gonna put, I guess, a little review right after this.
Yeah,
We'll see right after this.
Check it out, man.
But anything, if you have anything to plug, if you have any social media, fine.
Board Film Studios at Board Film Studios.
Yes, follow for sure.
For sure, that one for sure. And just YouTube, Board Film Studios, and
Instagram, all that stuff is the same.
It's all the same.
Board
YouTube,
Film Studios, man. Honestly,
There you go.
support the locals.
So remember to go support Juan too at Juan Las Art.
Juan Art.
Everywhere.
Simple.
Your name used to be different on Facebook, right?
Focus Chaos, the art of Juan. That's too long.
But now it's
man.
Juan. Okay. That's a cool name. Though.
Stick with that
Maybe
one.
you could we could put it into a production company.
It's in my biography stuff.
Because my production company is called Toro Pendejo
Toro
Production.
Pendejo, man. When you
That's
watch
my
the episode,
production
you'll see it at the
company.
end, yeah.
It's so stupid. And follow us at Nitro Podcast on all social media. We have a TikTok, but we don't really use it.
No, I know. For the youngins.
I try to put something there, nobody watches. Anyways, yeah. Remember to go subscribe, click the bell, all that shit.
Watch the movie.
Yeah, watch the movie.
The Haunting on Sunset Heights. In Sunset Heights.
Watch it. Go watch the fucking Cassandra review too, man.
Yeah,
It's getting a little bit more.
Little by little, man.
But there it goes. We're getting back into the groove because of the fucking movie. I had to stop making
That's right. We're getting back to it, man.
We're getting back to it. So happy Halloween again.
Happy Halloween, man.
And we'll see you out there, man.
Thank you, Andrew.
See you guys.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Later, bitches.
If you can call back. If you want to leave a message, just wait.